Just like Mother's Day is triggering for some of you, Father's Day is triggering for me. Okay? Now, most of you have seen me talk about what I've gone through as a darker skinned woman, how the kids bullied me for my big lips, and how it was mostly men who looked like me, right? How does this tie into Father's Day? Well, ladies and gentlemen, my father was the first man to ever make me feel self-conscious about my big lips. I was only maybe about 8 or 9 years old. We went to a restaurant as a family, we were eating. It's a very vivid memory burnt into my brain. And this guy looks at me and he says, "Your mouth is too big to be eating like that." Mind you, I get my big lips from him. My mom also had big lips as a kid, but if I show you guys a picture of my father, which I probably will never, I get my big lips from him. Okay? So it was from that point on that I actually realized I had big lips. It was never something that I ever realized. Most of my siblings have big lips, but out of me and my siblings, I have the biggest, and honestly, I get it from my father. So he was the first African man to make me self-conscious or try to break me, all because he hated himself. All of this stems from self-hate, right? I already hated my dad for the fact that he just wasn't a good husband. And he got with my mother, who he knew very well he was not attracted to, gave her children, and failed to rise to the occasion when it was time to elevate. Let's not even talk about how he's a very sexist man. Most African men, especially East African men, are very sexist. Very sexist. I mean, their sexism is next level. The way they treat their daughters, compared to their sons. This man had no respect for my mother just by the fact that we are all girls. Me and my siblings are all girls. And, you know, I'm actually glad that my therapist allowed me to share this, but I always wondered growing up how much different it would have been if I was a son, or if one of us was a son, or if all of us were sons. So when you see me sitting here saying that I hate my father with a passion, please believe me. I'm even surprised that I reached to the level of my healing journey to where I was brave enough to date African men, because the kind of hate I have in my heart, these exes are lucky. These lucky bastard exes, African men that I gave a chance to, are very lucky that I ever graced them with my presence. So as I work on my healing journey and heal out loud, understand that it's much more deeper. Much deeper that you can never imagine. Okay? So when you see me sitting out here saying that I hate African men, I don't give a shit what you think. I don't ever anticipate creating a family with an African man or any male that looks like me ever in life. I have gone through the worst of the worst under men who look like me, and it started with my father. So Father's Day is very triggering for me. This whole holiday, this whole weekend is very triggering for me, and it will really be wise of you, if you are following me, to not fucking trigger me, because I will use you as an example. Do not get on my nerves in these comments, because I am ready to unleash my Aries rage on every single last one of you. My father knows how I feel. He knows how I feel. Even my mother knows that I am not bringing home any African male to marry. The last one that I dated was the last straw. So Father's Day is very triggering for me. I'm proud of myself that I can say this without crying. because there was a point in time where I could not talk about this without crying. There's a time I could not speak about this without crying. So I have very valid reasons for how I feel. And I don't give a shit whether you agree with it or not. Don't get got in these comments, because I will unleash my Aries rage on you. With that being said, as always, thanks for coming to my TED Talk.